Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can add the SkinCluster that works with the origin rig setup. So I'll create a cylinder. Imagine that this is an arm, and I'm intentionally keeping positioning it away from the joints, just to show you that when you have the origin rig setup, you don't have to position your joints before you start adding the deformations. You can add the deformation first, then you can position your joints. That's a very powerful feature. And in essence, what you can do is you can have the entire rig ready for the character, and then you can bring in the character model, position your PN locators, and you have the deformation ready. We need more segments. Okay, now I'm deleting the history and freezing the transformation. And now I'm just adding these two joints to this mesh. Make sure the selected joints, yeah, okay. So it is still not ready yet, because now if I move the any of the PN locators, the mesh is going to deform, because we are not defining the rest pose yet. So in order to do that, we need to feed the world inverse matrices of these locators into its respective binary matrix index in the SkinCluster. So first let's open the SkinCluster. We don't need all these joints or objects. Okay, so if you open the matrix attribute, you can see that index 0 corresponds to shoulder joint and index 1 corresponds to the elbow joint. So I'll bring in their PN locators, and now I'll grab the world inverse matrix of the shoulder PN and feed it to the binary matrix of the SkinCluster. So the world inverse matrix, binary matrix 0, and then for the elbow PN, binary matrix 1. Now even though the SkinCluster is there, you don't see any deformations. So now you have successfully defined the rest pose. So whenever you're moving these locators, you are actually defining the new rest pose for the mesh. This is flipping because the rest pose, the orientation is not matching with the rest pose. That's okay. So let me position it now. You have to position the shoulder first. Okay. Now you have to remember this thing, that your mesh will not deform as long as your joints are in their rest pose. By rest pose, I mean whenever they are at the position of their PN locators, and they should have value of 0 0. As soon as you add some values in their transformation, the joints will start deforming the mesh. Now it's bound by the local IK control, but you can take shoulder control and you can see that it's deforming now. So now let's fix the deformation. And I'm going to set up the fall off nodes now. I'm not going in detail how to set up the fall off nodes, because Mathias has already published some good videos on the same topic, and the link I'm providing in the description and in my blog post. So I'm just going to fast forward this step. So now you can see that I'm fitting the elbow PN's world metrics into the offset parametrics of this fall off node, and it updates the weights. We need it in the opposite direction. Yeah, so this is the elbow weight, this is the shoulder joint weight. If I move the fall off away, it will update the weight. Yeah, so now basically you have the rig setup ready. Now anytime I'm moving this IK handle, and if you want to change the elbow position, just go ahead and change the elbow position. And your weights will update with your new joint position. So there you go. Thanks for watching.